Before we get started with our dissections, we need to make sure that we're safe. So make sure you have gloves, lab coats, and goggles. To start your dissection, put your pig on the dissection surface. This is a male fetal pig. We can tell that because it has only a single hole in the back where the anus is and lacks a vaginal opening, has a scrotal sac, and a urogenital opening right below the umbilicus. This dissection is going to require us to open up the scrotal sac, expose the testicles, and then cut away at the abdominal pelvic cavity and expose the penis and additional glands. So first insert your scalpel into the center of the scrotum and make an incision up. Open up the scrotal sac. You should be able to find structures that look like this. That is the testicle wrapped in the tunica albuginea. So now, let us free that up. And now we have a really nice representation of the tunica albuginea, which can be punctured and we can expose a testicle and the epididymis. Now you can see this testicle and the epididymis around it. The cord that connects them is the spermatocord containing the vas deferens, which is going to lead back up into the abdomen. Now, we can expose the second one as well, but at this point we have a nice cut being made, which is going to help us identify later on the penis and the other reproductive glands. So we're just going to keep on our same course of cutting that initial incision deeper. Making sure to stay just off of center. You can measure it by going to the side of the anus. You can continue your cuts there. Let's make some incisions up through the abdomen and trace this vas deferens I have to be very careful because right underneath here, underneath the skin right there, is the penis. So we don't want to damage that. So let's make some incisions off to the sides. Okay, now since we have a better view, let us continue to expose that vas deferens, making sure you keep that in sight and just slowly cutting away at the edges. Now since we have a better view, we can come in and see that this vas deferens is going to wrap around the bladder. This cord right here, let me get a little closer. This cord right here and right here are the vas deferens. So now, since we see the 2 points, we can try to connect them by removing the additional layers of tissues and muscles. You can see how that spermatocord came up and then opened up right here to expose the vas deferens and the gonadal arteries. But that's only one piece. This vas deferens is going to make its way through and connect to the rest of the penis, which we still have to expose. So between this skin layer, this abdominal wall layer, between the bladder and the skin, if you put your fingers between there and you rub, you can feel a tube inside of that skin there, and that is the penis. So what we can do, very simply, expose some of that skin. Don't cut too deep. Since we can find the penis, we can make an incision along the side of it to try and remove the connective tissue around it. So that is the penis. Now we just want to expose the rest of it. You can see that if the vas deferens are up here and the penis is tracing back this way, we now have to connect those 2 spots. So we're going to come back through our halfway point of cutting the pelvic cavity in half, continue that while avoiding our spermatocord we can start seeing the rectum, and here's where the urethra and the base of the penis is going to come out. We can see how that bladder comes in and connects to the urethra, and then how this structure comes around and bends, forming the shaft of the penis, which will then come up to the urogenital opening. Now, some gentle work. We should be able to remove this system. Now let's quickly free up that second testicle. We can put our pig away now. So now we can look at the reproductive system of the male pig. We have the bladder, which then forms through the urethra here, turns around, forms the shaft of the penis, which will then exit through the urogenital opening right here. Also along the way, you can see these glands there, which are the seminal glands. And at the base right here, some of this tissue out of the way, you can see these tiny little glands at the end, at the base of the penis, and these are the bulbourethral glands. So everything from testes, epididymis, spermatochord, vas deferens, urethra, seminal gland, bulbourethral gland, penis, urogenital opening. And that is the reproductive system of the male fetal pig. Now you can put your pig away and clean up.